All right, now we're good to go. So guys, once again, welcome to tonight's webinar. This is Jason Brown, Chairman 25 here with iMarkets Live. And tonight, we're going to share some insights and some thoughts, and really some of the strategies, tips, and things that I have done, over the past 3 years to finally get to that breaking point and then have massive success inside of the home-based business, direct selling, network marketing, affiliate marketing, whatever you want to call it, inside of this industry. Guys, when I saw the potential, I saw 10,000 new millionaires created a year. I saw, success story after success story. I saw 80% of women, that make six-figure income do it in the direct sales industry. When I saw all those statistics, I said, you know what? There's something here. And I've got to really go all in to understand what that something could be. And so, over the last 3 years, I've gone from somebody who has a very, amateur level skill set in the network marketing space to somebody who's been able to, travel, build organizations globally around the world, attract thousands and thousands of people into the business, enroll, train, and duplicate. And a lot of it has to do with what I'm going to teach you. By no means am I, more special. I do not have a different compensation plan than you. I do not have a different lineup of products than you do. All that stands in between, where I'm at the Chairman 25 level and where you're at are really just time and skill. And so tonight, my only goal is to teach you guys some things that you can then go and apply to your business and go to the next level. That is the goal. I want everybody on here, in a few months to come back and say, you know what? I remember that one webinar and one thing clicked, 2 things clicked, 5 things clicked, whatever it may be. But I want something to click tonight. And so really before we get this plane off the ground, because once I get going, I get in a rhythm and I do tend to talk pretty fast. But really before we do that, I want you guys to make sure there's just about 100 individuals on tonight's webinar. I want everybody, I'm going to give you guys about 10 to 15 seconds just to make sure that everybody has a pen, paper, just make sure that you're prepared. Okay. That's the goal. Proper prior planning prevents poor performance. So there's no point in being on tonight's webinar if you're not taking notes. So guys, go ahead and get something to take some notes on. Now we're going to get down to business. I think we're good. So the first thing that we're going to talk about tonight is posture. Okay. And so I believe that one of the most important parts of prospecting isn't actually where to find people. I'm not going to just teach you tonight about where to go, what to say, but I'm going to teach you the stuff that a lot of people do not teach you. The X factor. What really takes place? What really needs to go down for people to gain that respect to say yes to your business? What do you have to look like? What do you have to talk like? What do you have to walk like in order for people really to say, you know what? I want to follow you. You know what? I need to learn from you. I'm going to choose you to be my mentor over the thousands of other people in this company, because I think you can bring me to the finish line. That's what it's about. And a lot of that starts with posture, okay? And so a lot of people think, posture is about having your chest out puffy and your back straight and all that. No. Posture is really tying it all together, okay? So posture does start with the way that you posture your body, having good, a good physical presence, having your chest out and your head high and looking right? Confidence, it's sometimes not even about what you say, but it's about what they think when they first see you. No matter what, people will always judge the book by its cover. And so people's immediate first impression of you is going to carry out through the entire process of you building this business. And so remember, you've got to also look the part and be the part. But posture comes from your confidence as well. It comes from your tonality. But here's some of the X factor stuff. One of the reasons that I've been successful is because I always make eye contact. Even right now, I'm making eye contact with the screen, with the camera, to try to really connect with you guys and build trust, okay? Eye contact, firm handshakes. If you're in a family, if you're in a home environment, give out hugs, give out. And if you're not really comfortable with that, fine. But, give the handshakes. When you walk into a meeting, give a handshake, make eye contact, because trust is number two. So posture and trust go hand in hand with prospecting. Guys, remember, there's no difference. I'll probably say this 100 times. There's literally no difference between me and you. No difference. Yeah, of course, maybe we have a different background. Maybe we're different age, different race, different religion. But in reality, there's no difference between me and you. We have Wi-Fi, we have some type of smart device, and we have the same product and platform. So the difference between the altitude of our business is going to be our posture and our attitude towards the business. So there's a lot that goes into posture. Okay, so just to recap before I go too far off, you need the physical body posture. Then you need that just good humanitarian posture, right? Shaking hands, making eye contact. Then you also need to wear posture. It would be about your overall presence. What are you wearing? I try to always wear something nice, not too much. You're not wearing a tuxedo to a home event, right? I'm not wearing a button up on a webinar, but listen, a nice polo, you go into somebody's home, nice jeans with a button up, ladies, a nice dress. You want to look like a professional. Again, goes back to posture. I would also highly recommend, I took some sales training classes and some tonality training classes. I've always been so infatuated by the emotion that can be conveyed through the human voice. Somebody the other day, my real estate agent, actually, I closed her and she's trying to sell me something. She said, "Oh, your voice is just so unbelievable. Like, you have such posture." I think she even said, you have such a presence. And that made me think, when I was putting down the agenda tonight, how important this really is. You guys can hear the enthusiasm in my voice. Hear, right? How I'm doing that. Hear, right? People want to be like, you got to extract that emotion. Like, when I speak, there's so much, conviction and emotion and posture. All right. Which is why this will probably be the one topic that I spend so much time on, because I think it's so important. I'm sitting back one day really thinking, okay, what makes, the Alex Mortons so respectable, so good that they can just go and do it at the highest level? What makes, LeBron James so good? What makes Holton Buggs so good? And I'm sitting back thinking, and it really just comes down to what I talk about. Hygiene, okay? Looking clean. Listen, I get a haircut every 7 to 10 days because the small little details sometimes make such a big difference. That ties into posture. It doesn't matter what type of budget you're on. I was building network marketing. Okay, here's the truth. I'm going to get so real with you guys tonight. You're not even going to be able to handle it, okay? I was building network marketing broker than probably everybody on this line. I'm talking broke as a joke for 2 years. And when I went to my first convention, everybody said, "Hey, can I take a picture with you? I want to do this. Hey, you're presidential." People thought I was a six-figure earner because I walked, I talked, I acted, I dressed, I was done up like a millionaire, right? You got to feel like $1 million before you can really do this business at a high level. Yeah, you'll be able to get your neighbor, your mom, your dad, your aunt, your babysitter, your ex-girlfriend, boyfriend intrigued to do the business. But tonight's call is not about, hitting Platinum 600. Tonight's call is about becoming a six-figure earner in iMarkets Live. If you're here to learn about Forex, wrong call. We have a call in an hour and 45 minutes with the Trade House on IMLTV where you guys can go learn how to trade Forex. If you guys are here to learn how to hit a very prestigious, rank position in the company, you guys want to learn how to earn a full-time income with this company, then you're here, right? We're going to drill and we're going to be real and raw. You don't have to be the seven-figure earner, and you're not going to lie to people and tell them you're making the money that you're not making. You're going to be completely truthful, but you've got to walk, talk, act, dress, bathe, shower, all the above, train like you are a six-figure earner, like you are a seven-figure earner. You've got to take on the persona of a chairman, because when you get there, you'll know exactly what to do next, right? So I'm already thinking, Chairman 500. How would a Chairman 500 walk? How would a Chairman 500 present? How would a Chairman 500 act? when nobody's watching. Okay, so that's posture. So for those of you guys who just jumped on, I see well over 100 people here now. That's what we're talking about to start off tonight's prospecting webinar is posture. Okay, this is such an important topic because really posture is where it all begins. Okay, the second topic that I'm going to talk about tonight is being transparent and being truthful. And obviously this one won't be, as long as the other one, but here's the thing, especially because we're in a Forex, financial type of business. Everybody's out there thinking that you need to be Chris Terry to get Chairman 10 results, that you need to be the best trader in order to get, massive following and massive results, that you need to be Alex Morton to make 40, 50, 60 grand a month. Guys, not true. Not true at all. You need to know the skill set. I can answer any question on trading. I can show people how to start getting trading, but do I sit here and pretend to be the best trader in the world? Absolutely not. But I have probably the biggest business in iMarkets Live because I know what I'm doing and because I always am honest and transparent. So there's no awkward moments. People ask me, how much have you made trading? Listen, I'm real. I say, listen, I know how to turn my money into 10% a month. But am I sitting here saying I made 100 grand trading? Nope. You got to be real. You got to be honest. When I was just starting, I told people, hey, I'm just starting. When I was doing about 100 to 150 a day in profit, that's what I told them. People don't need big numbers, right? They don't need to see, oh, you're making 10 grand a month in trading to believe that this is real. That would be completely unrealistic, is actually what it would be. In fact, a book that I recommended tonight, where are you? Okay. A book that I recommended tonight, Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. I recommended this at my event tonight. Probably one of my favorite books, okay? And it talks about the rule of 10,000 hours, that it takes 10,000 hours to be successful at anything. 10,000 hours to be successful, to be a master, to be a pro, truly successful at anything. And the only way you're going to make it is to be completely honest about where you're at. When I was, going through a rough time, I was completely honest about it. When I'm successful, I'm completely honest about it. So always be truthful with your prospects. If you're trading on demo and you're showing them demo results, let them know that it's practice demo results, that this is not real money. Very important, okay? Because not just because if they find out, it doesn't matter if they find out, but I truly am a firm believer in energy to the universe. And karma, what some people call karma, is really just energy, okay? And so when you send negative waves of energy to the universe, they bounce off barriers and they come back. And so anything that you put out that's not truthful will eventually come back to you. Understand that. So when you send good vibes, when you're honest, you're sending out vibration and that will come back to you. So what would you rather have come back to you? Because the boomerang, I'd say this all the time, the boomerang always comes back around. So you tell me tonight, what type of boomerang do you want coming back? Because when it comes back, it's flying. You want the good vibe boomerang or you want the bad vibe one? Okay, so always be honest and transparent about where you're at in the business. Okay. Also, do your research. You want to do it, you got to be the one in the front of the room eventually. You want to do this on a big level, you got to be the one on the webinars eventually. You want to do this big, you've got to know your stuff. Because my business went to the next level when I could close a room, not my upline. When I could sit down and do a one-on-one and get a yes, not need my upline there. When I could get on three-way calls, explain the business and get a yes and not have my upline on there. That's truly when things took off. And I've seen the separation. I've had people that I've been working with for the last 2 years. They won't completely let go, right? It's always about where Jason's at. Forget about Jason. You mean to tell me that if something happens to me tomorrow, God forbid, something happens to me tomorrow, you're going to give up all your dreams, your goal, your why? You're going to stop prospecting? You're going to stop building a business because something happened to me? Come on. That's not what this is about. And so the way to do it, the way to really do it is to do your research, to know your products. You got to know the 6 products: Academy, Daily Swing Trades, Harmonic Scanner, IML TV, Swipe Trades, and the Auto Trader. You got to know those 6 products. You got to be able to tell somebody, you can do it hands off. You can do it hands on. Hey, what's the average return I can expect on the Auto Trader? Well, You know, the Euro Trader Master, 5%, 5.12%. Like, I know all this stuff inside out because I've done the research, right? You got to know your PowerPoint presentation before you sit down and do it. Prior proper planning prevents poor performance. The 6 P's. If you plan prior to what you're doing, you won't have a poor performance. I have a whole thing of notes for tonight. Everything I want to talk about. I've been doing this. I could do this thing with my eyes closed, but I still took notes because I want to be prepared. So I deliver to the 125 people that are on here on a Sunday night at 10 p.m. the best training that they've ever received. Do that with your business. When a prospect sits down with you, you want straight conviction. You want posture. You want to be somebody they can look you right in the eye. And you know with 100% certainty that they're going to say yes. Okay? Number 4, for the extent of all of you working with me, you will hear me talk about consistency like I beat it like it beat me, right? I beat it like it beat, I mean, consistency. People ask me, Jay, what's my number one thing? What's your number one takeaway? What's the one thing that I need to work on? What's your number one thing in the world? And I give them the same answer every single time. The same answer every single time. Consistency is the only thing you need. You don't need to be the best looking. You don't need to be the sharpest. You don't need to be the best speaker. You just need to be consistent. You need to show up tomorrow. That's it. If you show up tomorrow, every single time, you're going to get better. 100%. You are going to keep getting better. You're going to keep going to the next level. And here's the biggest thing about consistency. This is going to be one of the biggest bombs that I drop on tonight's webinar. When I figured this is a hack. This is a complete hack. Okay. So this is like serious golden nuggets that you guys are going to get right now. So take this down. This ties in with consistency. Okay. This is going to be big. Listen, you can't quit. You can't quit next week. You can't quit next month. You can't quit in 60 days, 90 days, 180 days, 360 days. You want to know why? Because if you're going to quit, then you should quit now. If you have any doubt, and I'm talking any doubt, you're not sold out, you should get off the webinar and go deactivate from IBO to customer and just trade. Because if you want to build this business and you're saying, I'm going to give it a shot, why? Here's the thing. People, when you're new, you are not as sharp as you're going to be in the future. We know this. I know for a fact that if I take 3 years off of lifting, the first day back, I'm going to be weak. And the second day back, I'm going to be weak. And the third day back, I'm going to be weak, but I'm going to start to get a little bit stronger. And after about 30, 60, 90 days, I'm going to start to see some results. But I got to keep going, right? I got to go 60 days. I got to go for 80, 180 days. I got to go for a year. I got to go for 2 years to really feel like the best guy in the gym, right? Because if you go that long, you step into the 97, the 3%. You walk away, right? You heard it. Walk away from the 97%. You walk away from the 97% if you guys stay consistent in the business. Because here's the thing. Certain people, when you're new, they're going to say no just because you're new. Or just because you can't provide them the results. Or just because you can't provide them the testimonials. Or just because. That's it. But when you keep doing it, 3 months later, somebody who said no to you is going to say yes. 6 months later, somebody who said no to you on day one is going to say yes. In a year, because you've been doing it for a year, if you market it and brand it the right way, somebody's going to say, wait, that Jason Brown from high school, right? Like the fat kid who had no friends. That guy, 3 years later, he didn't quit. He made it work. And that guy, I'm all in. Guys, I've had people straight up, that was a super intense thing, but straight up, a year later, because I didn't quit, some of the best builders came into my business. Dude, I've been watching you for a year. This thing actually works. Unbelievable. 2 years in, yo, I've been watching you for 2 years. Honestly, I'm embarrassed to say that I waited this long, but you're really doing this? Is serious? Talk. I want to know more. But 3 years later, I'm living in Miami, new car, all that. That doesn't even matter. But still, they're like, I went back home and I went back to play basketball with all these kids I went to high school with. And every one of them, mysterious or not, even though we don't really talk, I have a new Facebook. Maybe they follow my Instagram, but I don't really post it. Snapchat, maybe. All of them knew what I was doing. All of them knew what type of car I was driving. And I don't even, most of you guys who see me all the time, you don't even know. I don't really talk about it, right? But all of them knew. Why? Because the people that say no are really watching the whole time. And so don't get discouraged when somebody says no. No means not right now. No never means actually no. And I think this is where a lot of people get disconnected. A lot of people get disappointed. A lot of people quit and throw away their why, their dreams, their goal, because their why is not big enough. Every single day, I look at this picture of me and my mom, okay? Every single day, I'm motivated because in a couple months, I'm finally going to retire her. But that's always been my goal since day one. I said, you know what? I'm going to retire my mom and my dad. My dad's 63 years old. He had some type of heart surgery last month. He's 63 years old, still doing manual labor. So I have motivation. Now you guys know why I do this at the caliber and at the level that I do it at. Right now, I'm making enough money where I could literally, my bed's right there, the TV's right there, and The Walking Dead is on, and I could be sitting here watching that. But I'm not, because there's things in life that are more important. And if you have a good why, you'll never quit. You'll never quit. Guys, last year, my second year in network marketing was probably the worst year of my life. I lost everything, okay? And everybody looked at me like I had googly eyes, right? Nobody wanted to make eye contact everywhere I was. I was delivering pizza and Chinese food, just trying to make it work, okay? And so, but I didn't care, because I had already made the decision that I was going to retire my mom and retire my dad and live free wherever I wanted in the world through network marketing, through this industry. And I could go do anything. I run a nightclub making good money. I got job offers all the time. But what other industry in the world can I go meet new people and empower them to do something great? I was in a living room tonight, and I hope some of you guys are on here. I was in a living room tonight, and there was like 4 babies, parents, a bunch of parents, just like so excited about making a few $100s a month, $600 a month to pay the bills, to take the pressure off, to get the diapers, to help pay the medical bill, whatever it is. You want to talk about a why? You want to talk about motivation? How could you quit on that? And so you really got to be consistent from day one, and that's why you never quit. So I gave you guys 2 major nuggets right there. The reason why you never quit on your why, never quit on yourself, because some of the best people that are going to lock arms and run with you, they're going to be, I'm telling you right now, 6 months out, 12 months out, 24 months out. I already know that people in 3 years from now are going to contact me, and hopefully I'll be making, a couple $100,000 a month, and they're going to say, wow, you're really doing it. And I said, yeah, I was really doing it 4 years ago, but hey, better late than never. Let's run. That's always going to happen, because eventually it gets to the point where they can't question you anymore. They can't say, man, you're in one of those things anymore, because they see people all over, right? They see people, they get 150 happy birthdays and you get 7,000, right? It gets to a point where you've impacted so many lives. If you're doing it for the right reason, you got to do it for the people. I don't even care. I barely even look at my numbers. I just look at the leaders in the organization and what I can do to help. Okay, that's how you really crack the code. So stop thinking about yourself. Stop thinking about how you can get to 600. Think about how many lives you can change through iMarkets Live, and then the prospecting becomes very easy. I think a lot of people overcomplicate it because they're always worried about me, right? No, you. That's it. What you focus on grows. Remember that. So if you help enough people get what they want, if you show enough people the plan to help change their life, and you give them a practical road and vehicle to get there, how could you lose? You can't. It's just a numbers game. It's just time at that point. You're going to get to a point where, you know what? You have so many people to talk to, you don't even know what to do. there's prospects, people that have been trying to get 10 minutes of my time for the last 3 days, and I'm literally so busy, we're playing phone tag, okay? You're going to get to that point, but you can't quit. Remember, broke, completely broke, embarrassed. You want to talk about embarrassed? Last year, I delivered food to my ex-girlfriend's house, okay? After being like the king of my city running a nightclub. So I don't want anybody on here to tell me, oh, it's hard. All my friends said no. Listen, you want to talk about embarrassing, rock bottom? I was there, okay? It's sometimes life, it gets bad, but I got back in the car and I said, you know what? Enough's enough. Enough is enough. You just got to sell out at one point or another. I hope this is getting you guys fired up, because a lot of people, they get on, they scream, they yell, they tell you to make a list, call the list. I'm calling BS on that. I think you guys need to understand the neuroscience, the psychology, the real understanding of what it takes, because not a lot of people will share this unless you're paying for their time. I'm sure people give trainings like this, but they're going to charge you $100 an hour. I love you guys, right? I see the list of people on here, and some of you guys are my best friends. Some of you guys are my new friends. Some of you guys have families. I know your wives. I'll sit here all night. If you guys want to stay, you stay. If you leave, you leave. The point is, this is real and raw. And so, number one, just to recap, you got to have posture, okay? Number two, you got to be honest, transparent, tell the truth. It doesn't matter where you're at. It matters where you're going. People believed where I was going when I was at rock bottom, okay? I had to move back in with my parents, broke as a jokester, didn't matter. I always had the freshest haircut and the best posture, but I was truthful. Hey, yeah, it is what it is. You know, I'm going through that entrepreneurial journey, and you're going to go through it too. Trust me. Maybe you didn't even hit your rock bottom yet. Remember, I'm warning you. Number three, do your research, know your product. Do your research, know your product. Know about Forex. Know what's a lot. Know what's a pip. Know how to show somebody how to calculate their risk. Know your stuff. Number four, you got to be consistent, as consistent can ever be. Okay, number five, follow up. Follow up. Follow up. Okay, here's my golden rule for follow-ups. If you talk to somebody today, times it by 2 for the next follow-up. You talk to somebody today, you do a follow-up in 1 day, okay? Right? So, okay, let's do this. Make a contact with somebody. You always follow up the next day. How do you follow up? Hey, what did you like best? It was great talking to you yesterday. Let's get on a call in 2 days. You just send that little follow-up. Great. Let's meet up. Let's get on a call. Let's go over the products one more time, okay? Always duplicate your follow-ups. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys exactly what to say, because that's a whole different training. But here's the golden rule. You want to drip on them, right? Drip, drip, drip. So little bit at each time. Maybe you're giving them just a simple what is Forex video, a 3-minute video. Hey, check this out. Did you even know that something existed like this? Hey, have you ever traveled outside of the United States and exchanged one currency for the other? Great. Well, I found an 8-figure mentorship program where they're actually teaching people, and you got to see the results. It's crazy. Let's talk tomorrow. I'll send you a video. Drip, drip. Everybody tries to make the whole pizza in 3 minutes. The wrong industry. This, you got to go topping by topping. So they're just drooling and salivating and really want it. Not because you want to play like a tease or whatever, but guys, the truth is, people have so much going on. And so if you talk to them about this Forex thing tonight, they're going to forget by tomorrow, because their favorite TV show's on. They're worried about fantasy football. Their best friend got a divorce. She's going through something. You know, I lost one of my best friends this morning. I found out about it. Maybe I forgot already about something important that I was supposed to do today, because I had that on my conscience all day, right? So life happens. You have to understand that. Don't get upset if somebody doesn't show up to an event. Don't be upset if somebody doesn't get on the webinar when they said they would. Don't be upset. Act like nothing happened. People probably thought I was crazy, because you know what? I would invite them. They wouldn't show up, and I would call them tomorrow. Yo, what's up, bro? Hope everything's good. Listen, I know you didn't get to come last night, but all good. You missed something great. Got something good going tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. What time are you free tomorrow? Like, I didn't care. Right? If I wanted it, I was going to go get it. And so the fortune is always in the follow-up. You got to follow up. Don't be annoying. Don't be that person, right? Every day, you shoot me a call every day. We're not friends. That's why I have that rule. Multiply it by 2. Multiply it by 2. So if you talk to somebody today, talk to them again on Tuesday. If you talk to them on Tuesday, multiply that by 2. So you're going to wait about 4 days. then you're going to wait about 8 days, then you're going to wait about 16, then you're going to wait about a month, then you're going to wait 2 months, then you're going to wait 4 months, then you're going to wait a year, 8 months, whatever it is. Keep the list, keep track. One of the best mentors I ever had nothing to do with network marketing. He actually passed away. But anyway, I learned something really valuable from him because we worked in timeshare. We were undoing timeshare, not selling them because I think that's horrible. But anyway, whatever. So we were undoing timeshares and we were calling people, and he taught me to keep a list, a manuscript, right? So I have a little book right here that I currently work on. This is my little prospecting book, right? I always have it with me. And in there, I write the name and the date that we talked. And so that way I can follow my rule. Okay, we talked on Monday, we're going to talk again on Wednesday. Once we talked on Wednesday, we're going to talk again next Monday. Always double your follow-up so you're not being annoying, but you're relevant. And it's going to take, remember, about 5 to 7 exposures, touches, right? Drips. You hear all these different terms, whatever, touches, drips, exposures, you get it. You're going to have to show the plan, explain, answer questions, just get in front of that person. Average 5 to 7 times. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 10. So we'll say 5 to 7 average to get them to take what? Action. Okay, so we're moving right along here. Number 6 is branding. Okay, so this is again another training that we can do on another beautiful Sunday night because I hope you guys can't get enough. I can't get enough, right? But branding, all right, and branding really would take place on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on your Snapchat. All right. Now, I don't know exactly who I'm talking to tonight as far as like the overall demographic, so I'm going to keep it super broad. But here's the thing. Okay. Number 1, big branding rule. Who cares about the presidential election? I have my opinions and they're super aggressive. But if I know, I would never post it on Facebook. I see all these people on my timeline, Hillary this, Donald this. Who cares? Okay. Here's the reason why. Somebody doesn't like who you like, now they're not going to join your business. Over what? Some BS that's probably rigged anyway and is already decided and doesn't really matter. I get it, okay? So why would I get in front and start voicing my opinion, saying this one's better than that one, she's a crook, he's a crook, they're all crooks. We get it, okay? Do not get involved in politics. Also, whatever other opinions you have about, riots, racial tension, war, leave it off your Facebook. I see so many people that I thought were great marketers get on during this election or during, when there was a lot of issues between African American and the cops, and they're on Facebook talking about all this stuff. And guess what? They're not doing that good anymore because you don't need to get involved with that. Honestly, it's just drama, and who cares? Love people. I love everybody. I don't care if you're tall, fat, skinny, it doesn't matter. I love you if you're a good person. So do not bring that to social media. Do not bring that to your friend's barbecue. Do not bring that to a social platform if you're looking to influence others, okay? Because here's what you're going to do. You're going to close the door on a lot of people. If you purposely want to close that door, great. But I love diversity. I love being around everybody. I don't care where you come from. At the end of the day, we're all human beings. We've just been programmed to believe that we need to believe in all these different things, right? Everybody's got an opinion. Doesn't matter in business, guys. Forex is a beautiful thing, and you don't want to shut the door on other people. So a big part of branding is just being neutral. Don't get involved in all that stuff. If you believe what you believe because you truly believe it, then you don't need to voice it. That's what I believe. I believe in what I believe in, but I don't need to go tell everybody what I believe in because then it's just fake unless I want to be a politician, which you don't. Okay, so brand yourself like a pro. If you have pictures on your Facebook of you, out partying, drinking, whatever, take them down. Don't share violent videos. Don't share, garbage content because if you put out garbage, you're going to what? Attract garbage. Try to get a nice picture. Get something that would attract people to you to say, wow, this guy, impressive. This woman, I need to follow her. I need to know what she's doing. If you guys go and look at my Facebook, and I'm not showing off or bragging, but I've done that's years of work, plain and simple. Okay. Go look at it. Go look at the type of posts. Go look at, my cover photo. Go look at some of that, right? And just understand that there's a brand being created and mimic it. You don't have to copy and paste all my content and all that stuff, but use that as an outline. Use it as a guideline. of how you would want to be perceived as a professional. No, you don't need to be a public speaker to make this business work. People say that all the time. One of my buddies like, dude, I don't want to speak. Fine, you don't have to, okay? But understand, we're talking about chairman mentality tonight, okay? So branding. Number 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 7, show up. One of my favorite ones, just show up. I don't care if you want to do it or not, show up. I had a home meeting tonight at 7. At 6 o'clock, 5:45, I was in like the most comfortable thing I could be wearing, kick back, watching football, but you got to show up. I took a shower, went to the meeting, got to show up. I got this webinar tonight, obligation, got to show up. Even though I could be relaxing right now, you got to show up. There's webinars every night, Monday through Saturday, 8 p.m. You want to get better at presenting? Get on those webinars. Take notes. Listen to how the other leaders in the company present, because you can literally get on there and learn from me, from Alex, from Brandon, from Matt, you know, from a lot of these other leaders who have been doing this and who are doing it at a high level. That's why we put, you know, some of the bigger leaders on there, not just because they're the ones who can close, but because they're the ones you can learn from. They're the ones doing it at a heavy level. And so if you're home at 8 p.m., instead of kicking on the nightly news, kick on IML webinar, IML overview, for IML4Xoverview.com, and listen to a 25-minute presentation every night. And you tell me you do that, you can't go hit 600, you can't go hit 1,000, you can't go hit chairman after a while. BS, because you're going to get in that rhythm, guys. But you got to show up to go up. We have an event in Dallas. There's 100 and something people on here. We haven't sold that many tickets yet. I expect to see ticket sales go after this webinar, because you got to show up. You got to be at that event. IMLDallas2017.com. IMLDallas2017.com. If you haven't got your ticket yet, go get it. They're on sale right now, not just because I'm trying to plug the event, because you got to show up. You got to show up. You got to come and meet everybody in person. You got to get the training from the 7- and 8-figure earners that are going to be there. You got to get the Forex training. Guys, that Forex training is worth probably $1,000, $2,000, and you're going to get it for $39 because you're in our company and we care, right? Go get the ticket. You got to show up. You'll figure out how to get there. My opinion, it doesn't matter if you're on a small budget right now. You have basically 90 days, like 80 days or whatever it is, to figure out a way. Yeah, exactly 80 days when the clock turns to Monday. You have 80 days to figure out a way to get a $300 flight in and out of Dallas, split a room with a couple people. You have a team. After this webinar, you should be at least 600 in the next couple weeks. You'll get there. Go get your ticket tonight so you're 100% committed. You got to be 100% committed. You can't be doing the hokey pokey, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You might as well go to Dancing with the Stars and try to get a 6-figure career there, because you got to be sold out. You got to be all in. You got to show up at that event, show up on the webinars, show up on the London session, even though it's a little bit late, 2 a.m. You want to be a good trader? Show up. People on your team want to be a good trader? Show up. There's a home event 20 minutes from your house? Show up. A big leader? Show up. 6-figure mentor? You got it. You got to show up. I am on every call because I'm obsessed with success. And I think that's one of the major reasons why I've been able to hit top levels. I didn't know anybody outside of New Jersey when I started network marketing. I don't think I mentioned that. I didn't know anybody in Africa, got thousands of friends in Africa. I didn't know anybody in Europe, got thousands of friends in Europe. I didn't know anybody in Australia, going there in 3 weeks. Who am I? Just normal guy who just showed up. And I just kept showing up. So that's probably one of the biggest takeaways. You can put an asterisk next to it. Show up. Show up. Go to Dallas, please. You'll thank me when you're there. Say thank you for telling me 17 times on the webinar to show up, because my life has changed. So one more time. Show up. Okay. Valuable. Oh, another good one. Okay. Value your time. Please. Oh, my God. I got to like breathe on this one. This is so important, man. I see so many people not do this. I'm going to save you guys. I'm going to give you guys some golden nuggets tonight. I promised. I told you we're going all in. Let me get some water here. Hold up. Okay. Woo. Value your time. Please value your time. Do not do last minute stuff. Okay? Here's the thing. Everybody wants success. But when someone doesn't value your time, they're never going to value it. And when you have a big business, you're dead. You're done. I promise. When you have thousands of people in your business, You have hundreds of people contacting you a day. You guys see my inbox. You probably have cardiac arrest. But it's about communication, and it's about valuing your time. And people know Jason is always available. I have some great leaders here in the local market, and they said, hey, can we do an event tomorrow? If my schedule's clear, 100%, because you told me today. You know, you tell me the day of, it's going to be hard because I value my time, and my time is usually booked, you know, a little bit in advance. And obviously, if you guys aren't, you know, you're just starting fresh in the business, you don't have to tell everybody who hits you up to go scratch, right? But understand that your time is the most valuable thing in the world. And the reason why we're doing this business is to get more of it, right? I had a good career. I had a great career, actually, something that I loved. I had a lot of fun, super enthusiastic, but I had no time. So I traded that in to go broke for 2 years to get what? Time. Because I knew that I had a long way to go. And if I didn't have time, I'd live a miserable life. Okay, now I have time, and I'm telling you guys, value your time. It's so important, okay? And so how do you value your time, Jason? What do? After this webinar, I'm going to go into the IML Elite Forex group, and I'm going to share a document that I created that I've been using for the last year and a half. And when I started using the document, my income started going up. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a little gift tonight for being on here. A lot of other people in the group aren't going to know what to do with it. Download it, print out 4 at a time, and I guarantee your business will start to go. I guarantee it, 100%. Some of the people on here know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a daily planner. It slots out all your time. I tape it to my desk right here. I'm actually putting up a new one after this because tomorrow's Monday, Momentum Monday, best day of the week. What's up? But you gotta put it right there with you, fold it up, put it in your pocket, put it in your wallet, put it somewhere. Value your time. Or if you're fancier than my little script, I get it. Not fancier than my little calendar. It's cool. I get you. I know some people on here are a lot more fancy than that. So I'm not hating. But please go get a daily planner. Tomorrow, go to Staples, go to Target, go somewhere, spend $5 and get a daily planner. Something that allows you to value your time. Tomorrow, I know exactly what at least a good chunk of my day is going to look like. Because I value my time. You got to stick to it. You got to stick to it. You got to get up in the morning. You got to know exactly what time you're going to the gym. Especially if you're working a full-time job or you have kids. If you're not valuing your time, I bet your brain feels like a blender, right? Sometimes my brain feels like like somebody threw a bunch of vegetables in there and it's just a bunch of green juice, right? Like I have no idea what's going on if I'm not on my schedule. Like I feel so naked without it, okay? And so here's the thing. When I start using this schedule, I know that tomorrow at around 10 o'clock, I'm going to leave. I'm going to take all my pre-gym stuff, get it ready. I'm going to leave. It takes me about 20 minutes to get to the gym. This is how serious I am. I'm not joking. I know that at 10 a.m., I'm going to get ready. At about 10:20, I'm going to leave. It takes me a little bit to get to the gym. I'm going to start working out, let my pre-workout hit. I'm going to work out for about an hour. And then around 11:30, my friends get there and we usually play basketball. Okay, every day around 11:30 or 12. We play for an hour or two. So I don't book anything in my business from about 11 to 2:30, 10:30 to 2:30. So I usually give myself about 2 to 3 hours a day to go to the gym, work out, play basketball. Okay, time freedom. I've been doing it even when I was making $1,000 a month. Doesn't matter. You got to have time for yourself. Now, I have more luxury because this is full time. So maybe this is different for you, but I'm just giving you guys some ideas of how much you have to value your time, how deep you have to go with this. Okay. And so I value it down to, I know once it hits 2:30, I need to leave the gym. Even if I'm playing basketball and I won and I'm still on the court, sorry guys, I got to go. Because at 3 o'clock, I usually start booking my first appointments for the day. And I come home, take a shower, get in some comfy clothes, get in front of the computer, and I work from like 3 till 11. So I'm still doing 8 hours a day, just like everybody else. But I'm valuing my time, so I'm booking all my appointments in a certain index. So I still can be super productive, right? But my time is so structured. And so understand that you can achieve whatever you want. Even if you're working a full-time job, you can find the time. But you have to value your time first before your time will value you. Damn, nuggets. Okay, what else? Okay, I like this one. I like this. Almost done. We'll be out of here in about 10 minutes, guys. All right. you got to utilize your upline. Odds are if you're on this call, I probably am your upline. And if not, I can be. It's cool. Here's the thing. You have to utilize your upline. You have to edify. All right? You have to put the people in the company who have achieved that success in a position where they can come in and do what they need to do. I've been on great three-way calls and webinars, and I've been on really bad, awkward ones. And it usually all starts with how the ball is served. Think about playing volleyball, right? What's really important? It's how the ball leaves your hand so you can set up the original serve, right? If you served it really low, you'd have to kind of come up awkward, and then they have an advantage, right? Almost like if somebody were to set me up for a spike. If the ball was in a place where the person on the other side could clearly see what I was going to do, they're going to block it, and now I'm at a disadvantage. So no matter what, you have to do some type of edification. Now, there's a lot of stubborn people too, and I get it because I was one of them. And in the beginning, I tried to do everything myself, and I had the humble beginnings to go back down and reset and utilize people for my calls. But the best part is you guys have people like me, people like Alex, people like Brandon, people like Matt Rosa, people like Matt Green, John Guanum, Edwin, people who really care, Corey Cromray, that are on these webinars, 6 nights a week, doing presentations, going through the products. So all you have to do is edify, the leaders on those calls. And if you have somebody you like, wait specifically. I usually do 1 or 2 a week. Matt does 1 or 2 a week. Brandon Boyd. If you guys have a little bit of an older crowd, Brandon's father of 6, got a wife. People will see Brandon and they're like, wow, this is great. So if you want to wait for somebody specifically, great, but edify and utilize your upline in the right way, right? Don't just throw them on calls, but prepare the calls so that they can be there to just answer questions. You got to give somebody the tools. They have to be qualified before, okay? And so really important. And now here's the thing. So I've gone over 9 different things for you guys, and I haven't told you anything about contacting people, where to get people, where to find people, what to say. Because you want to know why? There's people everywhere. You can live on a farm in the middle of Kentucky and you could find people. I know that. And I think people who sit here and tell you where to go find people, they're crazy. They don't know the real answers. Everything I gave you tonight should put you on steroids so that everything you do just makes sense now. That's my goal, because I sat on webinars and they're sitting here, go to Walmart, talk to 6 people, go to the library. God, there's people everywhere. There's people on Facebook. You can add random people on Facebook. You can go to influential people's profiles and send friend requests. You can look up real estate agents. You can go get real estate agents' cards. You could drive around and look at signs. You could go on Craigslist. You can go on Instagram. You can go on Snapchat. People built 7-figure incomes in the 80s and 70s before any of this even existed. So if you can't find people, I don't know what you're doing. Maybe you don't live here on this planet, but there's people. You just got to know what to do. You don't know how to be, how to act. And so I'm trying to give you guys that X factor, like what really you need. You see how passionate I've been going for an hour, and I'm not even drinking coffee. I'm just fired up because 125 people been on and nobody's leaving the webinar. You got to capture people's attention. I captured an audience here tonight for an hour on a Sunday night. Do that with your business. You guys should take everything you learned tonight and go and just go and just go and go and go and don't stop and don't listen to rejection and don't care. As long as your bills are paid, there's a roof over your head, you're blessed, you're grateful, you're looked out for, and you're highly favored. Go out and make it happen. Go out and make it happen. Okay? So, in closing, be productive. The 10th tip, be productive. You need to be doing, if you're part-time, 2 to 3 meetings a day. 2 to 3, not even meetings, 2 to 3 contacts. You need to be talking to 2 to 3 people a day if you're part-time. If you're full-time, 5 to 10. One-on-ones. Go meet people in your local market and say, hey, let's go to the local coffee shop, sit down, let's do a one-on-one. Do the presentation, learn the presentation. That's one of the things. Do your research, know your stuff. Sit down, do your one-on-ones. Get your upline on 3-way calls. Get people on the webinars. Do your home meetings. I've been with some leaders out here, some amazing leaders out here, and they're doing home meetings almost like every night. And if they're not doing home meetings, they're doing one-on-ones. They're having people come to their office during the day. People come to their house, getting on calls. They're going to hit 6 figures faster than probably anybody I know that down here, because they're just doing the work. They're just doing the meetings. They're just getting in front of people. It doesn't matter. If you got a little bit of ambition, they're getting in front. And so, guys, this is very simple, right? It's as simple as you make it. But you just got to be all in, really. Not like 100 hours a day like that. You got to be all in on making this work. You got to be sold out. You got to show up, all right? So, guys, thank you so much for everybody being on here tonight. For those of you guys who can see my screen, a couple people texted me for the link. So go get your tickets. Remember, doesn't matter, planes, trains, and automobiles. You'll find a way to get there if that's where you want to be. Be there. You got to show up. This is probably one of the best trainings ever done. IMLDallas2017.com, January 14th. Find a way to get there. You will, I promise. Go hard. And in recap, again, last thing, number 1, you got to have posture. Number 2, you got to be telling the truth. You got to be transparent. Number 3, you got to do the research. You got to know your products. Number 4, you got to be consistent. Number 5, the fortune's in the follow-up. Number 6, focus on your brand. Number 7, you got to show up. You got to show up. Number 8, value your time. Number 9, utilize your upline and practice your edification. And number 10, be productive. Do the one-on-ones, do the 3-way calls, do the events, invite to the webinar, and the world is yours, guys. The world is literally yours. So, guys, with that being said, we did it in an hour. You got to listen to some cool music in the beginning, and I hope everybody took some massive, massive, massive value from tonight's webinar. This is Jason Brown out in Miami, Florida. So excited to have you guys as a part of this movement. I expect to have thousands of people on these webinars in the future, so understand that you're at the tip of the iceberg. You are here before the waves, the masses, everybody comes through, and we take this company to the history books. So much love, guys. Remember, in 1 hour, we have our DFW Trade House session with Mike Miles. Get on there, super instructional. And also tonight on the live Trading Room London session, basics, where you can ask questions and answers and learn more about trading.